All right, good morning. Today is Tuesday, the 21st of March. And as you can see, today has been set up to be a lab day because I have a few people in the class who have fallen behind. For those of you who are not behind, I have attached your latest hands-on test. All right, I'm going to go over that in just a moment. In fact, I'm going to go over the hands-on test both today and tomorrow. So the lecture is going to be a little bit repetitive, so you can watch it either or both days. All right. So again, tomorrow, Wednesday, you'll have the entire period to work on the test. The test itself is going to be due Thursday by midnight. All right. Good morning, Grant. I was just saying, um, I'm going to today and tomorrow, the lectures are going to be very short, approximately 10 minutes long each. And I'm going to go over on both days. It'll be a very repetitive lecture. I'm going to go over the test, and I'm going to go over that in just a moment. The reason I'm doing it this way is, again, I have had a few people in the class who have fallen behind, and I don't want to hold it against those people who are up to date, but I also want to make sure that people who are behind can catch up. So today is a lab day. And so if you are behind, you can work on getting stuff done. If you are caught up, you can start the test today. All right. So that the tomorrow is going to be a whole day dedicated to the test. Again, I will go over, just as I am right now, the test instructions from 8:05 till 8:15. So if you watch it today, you probably don't have to watch it again tomorrow. All right. And then the test is due on Thursday by midnight. But on Thursday, we are going to cover JavaScript, our Murach JavaScript book, chapters 6 and 7. That's on the DOM and on images and timers. All right. And Friday will be our typical lab day. So as it says there, remember your chapters 4 and 5 homework is due this Sunday, and your chapters 6 and 7 homework. When I say homework, I mean written tests, labs, and homework for 4 and 5 is due this Sunday. Written tests, labs, and homework is due Sunday, the 2nd of April. All right. So with that said, let me bring the test up here. I am grading right now, just so you know. And I hope to have everything graded as far as what people have turned in done this morning. All right. Now, as far as the test goes, it's a little bit different from what you've done before. All right. You are creating a website from scratch. The website will have 4 pages on it. I'd like them to be responsive. How you end up making them responsive is totally up to you. You can use Flexbox, you can use Grid, you can use just media queries, whatever you think is the best. As always, add navigation so you can go from one page to another page. So again, there's 4 pages in here. The first page is a home page. At a minimum, it should have some kind of a heading and some kind of a rock, paper, scissors image on it. In addition, if you want to, just Google RPS or Google rock, paper, scissors and add some actual text. I don't want this to be garbage text is what I'm saying here. All right. You get 5 points for setting it up the way that you were told to set it up here. So if all you have on there is basically some kind of an H1 heading in a big image, that's okay. All right. But if you want to add some text, you can do that as well. So that's 15 points. Page 2 will be an about page, and you should have in there, amongst other things, something like with the rules of rock, paper, scissors, possibly something on the history, and anything else you consider to be relevant. Again, I am purposely on this particular example, I am not giving you a lot of instructions. I want you to take it in the direction you want to take it in. So again, 5 points for the formatting, 5 points for it being responsive, and 5 points for meeting these requirements here. If you decide, originally I was going to have you on this page put in a YouTube video, and there are, believe it or not, there are YouTube videos out there. I checked this weekend of people. There's like a rock, paper, scissors championship. So you can put one of those in there. But if you don't want to do that, you don't have to. All right. Page 3. That'll be where you put the actual game in there. You're to play against the computer. And it may sound really difficult, but it's really not that bad. All right. In other words, you want to make sure because you'd win every game if the computer went first and you could see how the computer did. Because if it chose rock, you could choose paper, etc. All right. So either you have to go before the computer does, or you don't show the computer's choice until you've chosen yourself. And regardless of the way you do it, it really and truly doesn't matter. All right. But as far as the computer, you're just going to generate this. I'll give you this much. I generated a random number between 1 and 3. If the number generated was a 1, the computer chose rock. If the random number was a 2, the computer chose paper. And if the random number was a 3, the computer chose scissors. All right. As far as the rules and everything that's in there, again, you can look that up if you've never played the game before. So you can allow for multiple games to be played, and because of that, you'll have accumulators. Keep track of how many times you won, how many times the computer won, and how many tie games there were. All right. So again, notice this one's a little different. You get 5 points for the formatting, 5 points for the responsiveness, but you're to come up with your own GUI on here. Put it in a form or do whatever you want to do, but that's 10 points. And then the other 35 points is for following the steps up here and making the game work. Finally, on page 4 here, this will be a contact page. You ask the person for about 8 pieces of information: their first name, their last name, their address, their city, their state, their zip code, their email address, and their cell phone number. Assume that all 8 fields are mandatory. All right, you can include HTML validation. What do I mean? Well, for example, for the email address, you can set the type equal to email, something like that. But you're also to add JavaScript validation. If there are errors, let the user know. For now, if you want, you can just use alert statements. When we get into early on, or later on this week, I should say, when we talk about the DOM, you'll learn another way as opposed to using alerts. But alerts for now are okay. Again, 5 points for the formatting, 5 points for the responsiveness, and 5 points for following all of these requirements. Last thing, and I know this is repeating, but I want to make sure you see it all. Again, today is a lab. What you do today is up to you. Tomorrow is dedicated to you working on this test. I will be online today until noon, tomorrow until noon. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me. And if necessary, we can even set up a private Teams chat. That's okay. Again, on Thursday, we'll go over from the Murach book, chapter 6, which is all on the DOM, or the document object model, and chapter 7, which is on images and timers. Friday will be a lab. And again, I'm going over these test directions now. I will repeat them tomorrow, just in case somebody says, well, geez, I didn't even know you did that. I'm just doing it both days. That way, if somebody else joins tomorrow, and Grant, you're welcome to join tomorrow, but since you're here today, you're going to hear the same stuff that you're hearing right now. So again, as always, with you being the only one here, do you have any questions on what I'm asking you to do?
No, pretty straightforward. Thanks.
Okay. And again, it will be due Thursday, your repo. Call it JS Hot 2 or whatever. That'd be fine. And it's due Thursday by midnight. With that, good luck. Again, I'll be online for the rest of the day today and the rest of the day tomorrow. Okay. And I will repeat this again tomorrow, and Thursday we'll have our regular lecture. I'll talk to you then. Thanks.